Before the Great Pyramids of Giza rose from the sands, before Stonehenge stood sentinel on the plains of Britain, before Mesopotamia was called the cradle of civilization, there was a city so old, so mysterious, it predates written history. And yet, almost no one has heard of it. This is the story of Çatalhöyük, the oldest city in the world. In the heart of modern-day Turkey, buried beneath layers of soil and silence, lies a city built over 9,000 years ago. Discovered in the 1950s, Çatalhöyük stunned archaeologists. Not just for its age, older than the pyramids by over 4,000 years, but for what it revealed, a civilization that lived in harmony, without kings, without war, and possibly without hierarchy. Imagine that. Before empire, before conquest, there was community. The architecture of Çatalhöyük was different. There were no streets. Homes were built side by side, and people moved across the rooftops. Entry was through the roof. No doors, no roads, just honeycombed homes stacked like a labyrinth. Why? Some say it was for protection. Others say it reflects a collective way of living, a society without walls, both literally and figuratively. There were no palaces, no temples, no city squares, but there were shrines, symbols, and skulls. Lots of skulls. The walls of Çatalhöyük's homes were covered in art. Leopards prowled the plaster. Vultures hovered over headless figures. Volcanoes erupted in vibrant red ochre. What were they trying to say? Some believe these murals hold the earliest expressions of ritual, myth, and collective memory. One image might even be the oldest map in human history, a volcano beside a cluster of houses. Did they witness an eruption of Mount Hassan? Were they recording history or creating myth? When someone died in Çatalhöyük, they didn't bury them outside. They buried them under the floor, in their homes. Sometimes they dug the same grave multiple times. Bodies were curled in fetal positions. Skulls were removed and displayed. Were these ancestral relics, trophies, spiritual guardians? The people of Çatalhöyük lived with their dead. Their homes were tombs, their floors were history. Unlike later civilizations, Çatalhöyük had no sign of social hierarchy, no central government, no military barracks, no elites. We find similar tools in every home, similar food. It suggests radical equality, a society where resources were shared, not hoarded, and most striking of all, no evidence of war, no weapons, no fortifications, no mass graves. Did they live in peace, or have we simply not found the violence yet? If true, it would make Çatalhöyük not just the first city, but possibly the most peaceful. After thriving for over 1,000 years, Çatalhöyük was abandoned. Why? Some blame climate change. Others point to population strain. Perhaps their egalitarian structures simply couldn't scale. Or maybe they just moved on. Civilizations don't always end with a bang. Sometimes they fade, quietly, softly, like a whisper in history. What does a 9,000-year-old city teach us today? That civilization didn't begin with kings and conquests. It began with community, article memory, ritual. Before war and empire, humans built together, lived together, died together. Çatalhöyük wasn't just a city, it was a statement, etched in clay and time, a vision of what we once were and what we could be again. Beneath layers of dirt, beyond the edges of written history, lies a city that defied the story we thought we knew. A city older than the pyramids, more mysterious than Babylon, and more human than history dares to admit. This is Çatalhöyük, the city that predates the pyramids.